Hi guys, sorry I didn't even realise we were there, just enjoying this magnificent view here in Wakanda with Cap. Another bright sunny day, but we're not here to talk about that, are we? No. We are here to talk about the one and only Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow. And this is my, what is at the moment Endgame, Power 175 Endgame build for her. So in this video what we'll do is, I'll quickly show you my stats, what I currently have at the moment. And then we'll quickly go over the gear. A lot of it's not really changed since my previous video. We'll have a look at the minor and major artifacts. And then after that we'll go into the skill tree, show you the primary skills, a quick look at the specialty, and then a quick look at the mastery, and we'll also then look at where her champion points are up to. Not quite full yet, but a good, I would say 95% of the way there. So yeah, let's go on with that and jump into that. We'll have a look at let's say have a look at gear. That looks a bit dodgy. I think we'll have to speak to Iron Man about that one. But anyway, right, yeah, let's jump into it. This is the gear page. But before we go on, pop this up on the right hand side of the screen there so you can have a quick look at the stats that I have. Yes, probably not fantastic. Not terrible, because I certainly find that the way she runs pretty good for me. Mainly range focus, but quite a bit in Valor there as well. A little bit of proficiency to help with the crits, but mainly sort of trying to balance out precision for range damage and Valor for the crit damage and the assault heroic effectiveness, which is for all your heroics basically. Decent little bit of intensity for stun build up and also status, and then status and stun resistance a little bit, which just helps us out. Okay amount of armour, would have liked to maybe had it a little bit higher, but hey ho, that's what we got. Max health, or willpower as it's called in this game, pretty okay. Range is definitely the way to go, but as you saw at the beginning, with the clip at the beginning of the video, you can use a little bit of melee if needed. Get yourself out of the sticky situations, it definitely helps. Yeah, recharge rates could all be a little bit higher, but they work pretty good for this build the way I've got it at the moment. So I'll leave that on for a second if you guys want to take a screenshot of that or anything. And then we will go into the gear. Right, so yeah, gear wise, this piece did actually change since last time. I am trying to get this again, excuse me, with the heavy and light combos ideally, but ideally I want those in cryo again rather than the cosmic that we have. It's okay, it works for the build. It's not that the build doesn't work because of it, but I would just prefer the cryo ideally, but I think I'll probably stick with this for the time being. And then that final perk there, that melee crit attacks can activate the cosmic surge buff, which is kind of helpful, helps restore a lot of willpower, so if you get hit you're hopefully not going to take too much damage. This piece, I can't remember exactly where I got it from, but if I remember correctly it's from the Omega Level Threat family reunion. I think I got it one time with the completion of the Super Adaptoid at the end. I could be wrong, but that is your best place to probably try and get that one. Range piece. This is a Discordant Sound Ray piece, which is the Sonic Conduit at the top. Pistol and high cal shot steel vibranium, and then the 23.7% chance. A melee crit attack grants a damage buff. Now again, you'd think wouldn't damage but be better on range. I've kind of played about with them both. It can work on range, but I'm finding with this at the minute, because I do go in for a little bit of melee as well, it's quite easy to pop that, which again you would have seen on the left hand side of the screen at the beginning. You'd have seen the buffs popping up there at the side with the crit damage. It's quite easy to get a couple of hits on a little enemy and get your damage buff up really easy. There are other alternatives you can use until you can get to doing raids, certainly the elite raid, more so than the, I think I got that from the normal, I might have actually been from the elite, but it's one of the two anyway. This piece is one I've had for a while. Again, this, if I am not mistaken, comes from the Elite Vaults. So if you just farm the Elite Vaults, this is a good one again. 20% increased willpower recovery when invisibility is active. Now yes, we haven't always got 100% uptime on invisibility with this build, because she is slightly focused more on damage, but when we are invisible we're getting that extra 20% health recovery, which sort of linked in with champion points kind of helps out very much so. And a 40% chance defeating enemies grants an invisibility buff. Now again, that, if I'm not mistaken, also procs off range attacks that I do with the high cal, which I mainly use the high caliber shot, as you saw at the beginning of the video. You can use the pistols or full auto as well, but high cal definitely does the most impact, I would say. You don't even have to do a full charge shot with it. And then the third perk there, pretty decent. 15% increase crit hit chance for while invisibility is active again. Do have a pretty decent crit chance for Black Widow anyway, she's pretty good on her crits. That's one of her sort of, I don't know, base stats, if you would say, as well as her invisibility and her inherent shock damage that she does. That just stacks nicely with it. Again, it's resolve resilience and a little bit of intensity, which just helps with our status meter build up. Fourth slot, you've got a few choices. If you manage to get this one, which is from the priority mission, I think it is, and also the elite villain sectors. 3.2% increase heroic charge rate when Shadow Ops is active. Now again, you get Shadow Ops when you go invisible. You get an increase to your damage, and if you trigger your Shadow Ops, you get obviously an increase to your damage, but you also get that increase to your heroic meter charge, which is really helpful. Excuse me. Restore 0.3% of your max willpower when dealing any damage. That's not fantastic, but again, just kind of help a little bit. This last perk I do like when I got this one. 15% increased crit hit chance from weapons, really helpful for getting that crit chance up, especially with the high cal. I do find with Black Widow that I can take out your regular adaptoids in the normal difficulty at 2, sometimes 3 shots, but typically 2 shots with the high cal now, which feels really good, especially when she's invisible. Next, mana artifacts. Again, I've kind of switched these around, trying to try out different things, but using this one, triple valor. Got a recharge rate on there, and the increased stun meter build up from power attacks, which, as you know with Black Widow, her power attack is fully charged high cal, or the hold down triangle when you jump up in the air. If you're on console and you hold down triangle and you do the slam on the floor, or when you hold triangle and do your grenades, I believe that's a power attack as well. Can be pretty effective. I have used the jump in there, slam down one in the beginning video, as you saw. Just helps with a bit of stun. That can be useful. This one again, as I say, I've gone between double valor, double precision, one of each, and kind of finding this is working the best for me at the moment. Again, a bit more heroic charge, which is great, and then more stun build up, which really helps with Black Widow. So that's it for the mana artifacts. Now, major artifacts, I'm currently using this one just to try and get that little bit of a crit boost again, but you can, however, use the Ring of Nebelong, which, as it says there, just increases the amount of intrinsic recovered when you pick up orbs, which I do run this sometimes because it does help. Get your heroics back that teeny bit quicker if you need to, but charge rates are pretty decent at the moment with what we've got, and I'd rather have that bit extra high damage than worry about picking up orbs too much. Tacticon you could use if you're going more with a stun status build, So if you were focusing more on her intensity, if you're going intensity build, Valor intensity build, if you were doing it that way, you could use this to also build your Valor a bit more, but also increase your status meter stuff that you do. They are probably better ones, but for the crit I would say stick with the Sacred Northstone and Lethal Will. So yeah, that is pretty much the gear. Nice and simple, as I said, a lot of it's not really changed since I first did this. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comments down below and I'll do my best to answer them. One other alternative for the heroic slot, if you haven't got one of these yet, if you happen to get this from the vault, if you're going more for an invisibility build or you're focusing more on general gameplay where you're not too bothered about being massive damage, but you just want to be able to kill stuff and enjoy her invisibility support heroic that she has, this is a good one to get. Red Rune Coil, which again comes in legendary, or if you're lucky and you get it in this, you can get it in the exotic form, which your stats could be slightly higher, and it's that top perk, which is really fun when you're invisible. It just means, especially if you play on console, when you go up behind an enemy, if you're invisible, your prompt for your takedown will pop up and you can 9 times out of 10 instantly take somebody out and get heroic orbs back from that really quick. And this one even works especially well with one of the specialty perks that we'll look at shortly, that you can use as an alternative, which will just give you ridiculous amounts of orbs, which means you could potentially keep her invisible 100% of the time, which is when, to be honest, Black Widow does the most damage. But it's entirely up to you. So that is pretty much it. Excuse me, as I say, for the gear. Next we will go into the skill tree. Go through the skills, like I say, specialty, mastery, and then we'll also have a look at the champion points. So stick with me guys. As I say, any questions on the gear, stick them in the comments down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Or if you're watching this in the premiere, do pop it in the chat and I'll try and have a look if there's any questions in there that I can answer for you. And if I don't know the answer, I will certainly try and find out for you or point you in the direction of somebody you may know. So yeah, let's have a look at the skill tree. Okay, so here we are in the skill tree. This is your primary skills, which probably for most characters you will unlock all of these because obviously you just want to use them all. You'll unlock them as you go along, all different ones as you can see. Pretty much self-explanatory those. The ones we want is the specialty tree, which is this one. I'll only go over a couple of bits in this because it's not really too in-depth really, not a lot has changed from previous builds. So if you guys want to take a screenshot of that, I'll leave it up for a second. Now the one with this build, we're using this one under her support heroic. 20% increased damage on nearby enemies when activating Veil of Shadows. Now basically what this does is, when you go invisible, it activates her invisibility but sets like a load of little explosions off, which kind of sounds like the Widow's Bite being fired, and literally explodes and does a lot of stun damage. What I'll do is I'll jump in a harm room just after this and show you a couple of these, so you'll see what I mean. But you would have also seen it in action in the start of the video. Now if you're going for the invisibility build side of it, like I say, if you're not bothered about the high impact but you just want the regular invisibility, sorry about that guys, yeah, you want to go with this bottom one here. Now it says that they have a 33% chance to drop, well apparently that's actually a typo error and it's actually a 300% chance, I think somebody said, or 100% chance. So pretty much if you go invisible you're going to kill a lot of enemies and get a lot of orbs, so it really helps. But if you want the high damage, go with Dark Thorn. This one, just good if you're running with the group, it increases your teammates' crit chance. If they're running with the Assault Heroic, we're using this one, which is the Taser Dart. Now you could use this one because it increases the range of the electro field, so in other words the shock that taser dart puts out and it'll hit other enemies, which can be helpful. But if you're trying to focus on a single target, so an adaptoid or even an exo for example, you want all that damage to be focused on them, stick it on this one. This one gives you an extra Widow's Bite. You could go with this one, which does inflicts 40% more damage. There's a higher chance to stun, but this is the better one to hold an extra one. For the ultimate heroic, we've gone with this one. 35% increased damage from staff attacks, again pretty helpful, but even at the beginning you would have noticed I didn't even use it. Occasionally I will use it if it gets too many enemies or it gets a bit chaotic. Sometimes I'll even proc my ultimate and just not even use it, just to give me a damage boost. That can be helpful. And then we've just gone for this bottom one here to increase our damage resistance a little bit. You can use either of these others if you like, but this just helps with your damage resistance. So that is the specialty. Again, any questions, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll do my best to help you or point you in the right direction. Mastery tree, again I'll leave this for you guys to take a screenshot. Not a lot of it has changed. I don't think anything's changed in here actually since previous builds. I think we're pretty much doing the same things as we were before. Just seems to be this particular line here for me. I'm noticing it seems to keep like unticking it for some reason. Now you could go for headshots if you're a ranged build like Mad Black Widow's supposed to be, but it's going to be very, very accurate. I'm probably not very accurate. If you want this one, top one, increase all your heroics. And yeah, this is all pretty much the same as it was before. Grenades are still the same. Now you could run this one to add more shock, because she does do shock inherently, you could boost your shock. But the cryo grenades are definitely helpful for putting the cold status on enemies, especially in like the super adaptoid mission, or even against claw. These can be a little bit of help. That's the same again. Reduce shot recoil. Again, if your aim isn't very steady like mine, that definitely helps. Increased reload speed is also helpful, but if you feel you're not very accurate, go with this one. You can use this one, increase the mag size, but really I would say stick between these two. Reload speed if your aim's pretty good, or if your aim's not very good like mine, go for this one. Pretty much everything else is the same as we've had it before. As I say again with this, any questions let me know. That is pretty much it for skills and mastery. Like I said, not a lot's changed from previous builds. It's just the gear that is updated. Now, yeah, you can tell just by this I've been playing a long time. So this is the champion system. I have done a few in this first section in the past before I knew the information for this, but I would say ignore all this first tree. I would focus purely, if you're just starting out on Black Widow, which is at champion level, get your crit down to this third one, get this one down to the third one, boost your charge rates a bit, do these, so do these first two in this one, then go back, get your third one to here, finish your third one there, or if, as long as you're focusing those, or if you feel a little bit squishy, try building the health up to the third one, bit of defense if you feel you need it. But really you want to, with these three trees if you want to call them that, or sections, when you're just starting out, try and get them down to your third tier, as that only takes 8 points, I think it is. Let me just check over here, I'm done that. No, 4 points, sorry. So it's 4 points for each one of those. Next row down takes 8, and then this very bottom one takes 16 points a time. So what I'm aiming to do here is eventually get these 3 trees filled out, and then as I get points I'll just max that out eventually as well. But yeah, you want to focus on your crit damage, crit chance, stun and status if you're going for that, your charge rate, building your health, bit of defense, your perk chance. Focus on your main sort of sections really, because it gives you the damage dealer. Look at all your champion sections that help boost that damage, especially crit damage. Black Widow is a little bit squishy, so yeah, maybe build a health a bit and a defense, which is your first two, this one and this one, and then eventually maybe start building up your willpower recovery a bit, and you should be pretty good. Again, any questions on the champion system, again let me know in the comments down below. If I don't know, I will try and find out for you, or again I can put you in the direction of somebody who knows a little bit more about it than I do. Okay, so here we are in the custom harm room. Just before I load it up, I'll literally show you, as I said, with her power attack, you hold down your L2 if you're on console, hold down R2, as you can see there, fully charged, release R2, and it gives you that high cal full charge shot, which will be classed as a power attack. Another one is hold down your triangle, you do your grenades, and depending on obviously what they are, depends on the effect they put down. And your other one, jump in the air, hold triangle, and that's your other power attack. Now her signature attack, if you're on console again, is hold square, and she does like the underleg kick, which will knock enemies off the feet. So I'll quickly show you that now with some enemies. What I've done here is I have just put God mode on, because not because I want to cheat, it's just because I'm trying to show you guys what I mean with things, and if I'm getting hit and losing health, it's too much to try and concentrate on. So the enemies will spawn in, and just as you saw at the beginning, simple one-shot kills, excuse me, a lot of the time, especially on these smaller guys. And you just keep going like this, as you notice, because of that, the skills and the gear that we're using. I haven't even used my support heroic yet and I'm already invisible. That is from the high crit chance where it says you got the there you go again, hit another crit when invisible, and you can see my buffs on the left there. What I've already got, I'm going to trigger my damage buff. All I need to do, just get in with melee, do a couple of hits, and I've already got the damage buff. Now I don't know if you guys can notice there as well, keep an eye on her hands and her feet. And once you see that stun me at the top of my screen just below my health is full, don't know if you can just see there now, but her hands and feet are glowing. Obviously it's stopped again now because I took a hit, but if I get it back again, hold down, when you get that, hold down triangle, and if you're not invisible, at the time when you trigger it, you will actually go invisible again. You will instantly go invisible. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So that pretty much covers it. That is how my Black Widow is looking. Like I say, she's now at 175. At the time of this video, we are potentially looking at a new update coming out soon, with also Jane Foster coming to the game. I will be, hopefully, as soon as she drops, getting her leveled up as quick as I can, getting some gear together for her, getting her skills unlocked, and doing a showcase video again to show you guys just what she looks like. Because I've no idea myself yet, don't even know how she's going to play or what, but I'm hoping to, like I say, get onto her and see how we go. Bring you guys a video to show you potential of what you could do with her. And as we say with a lot of these videos, a lot of other content creators also say it, that these videos aren't an exact science. You know, we're not saying at all, this is the piece you need, you have to farm this piece. If people say farm this piece, it's purely a recommendation because they find it works and they think it will work for you, and it works best for that particular character. Because let's face it, what will work well for one character won't for another necessarily. They're purely recommendations. As I say, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you found it helpful, do give me a thumbs up. Really do appreciate all the support. It just helps me get these videos out to more and more people. I am only a small channel, just trying to grow, trying to start out, especially on Avengers. Really love this game, want to see it go further, and your support would be very, very, very gratefully appreciated. If, like I say, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share this video with your friends if you find it interesting. If you've got any more build videos, I should have some more coming up soon. I'm kind of getting Kate Bishop almost at 175, she's still at 166 I think at the moment, but as soon as I get her ready and with the gear that I'd like her to have, then I'll bring you my update for her as well, and a couple of other heroes. But obviously my main priority will be, as soon as Jane Foster drops, we'll be getting her leveled up and showcased for you guys so you can see all about her. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you found this helpful, and yeah, yeah, for us, before we go doing anything else, we're going to go and pay Iron Man a visit. Good old Mr. Stark, see if he can fix that, because there ain't no way I can risk that out in the field. Not sparking like that. Might mean I get killed. So yeah, until the next one, guys, I will leave you there now with some gameplay from a recent Hive mission, running with 3 other AI companions, and it'll just show you some of the levels in there of the skills in action, and just how easily you can take down adaptoids, and just how effective the particular skills that you use can be. So until next time, guys, stay safe and happy avengering. See you all again soon, guys. Bye for now.